Satya Skills. In this video, let us learn about types of lease finance. In the previous video, we learned about what lease finance is and its importance. There are different types of lease finance. They are, first one, operating lease. It refers to the short-term lease of an asset. Such lease can be cancelled at any time. Convenience and immediate use of services are the advantages of operating lease. Example, lease contract for computers for 2 to 3 months, tourists taking van or bus for a tour. Operating lease may be usually taken for a few months to 3 years. The risk of ownership and non-use of asset rests with the lessor. Lessor, remember, lessor is the person who gives it to the user. Lessor is responsible for maintenance and insurance. Operating lease is shorter in duration, therefore, lease rentals will be higher and the risk of obsolescence is also high. The lease contract comes to an end when the asset is returned to the lessor. Second one, financial lease. A lease contract which is for longer duration and non-cancelable, it is financial lease. The lessor buys the asset identified by the lessee. Lessee means the person who takes the asset for use and pays rent. And both parties enter into lease contract. Then the asset will be transferred to lessee. Under this lease, the lessor transfers all the risk and benefits to lessee. Important feature is that lessee gets rights over the economic use of the asset because this is a long-term contract, but the ownership will be with the lessor, that is who buys and gives to him. He gets depreciation benefit, that is lessor only gets depreciation benefit. Another feature is that it cannot be cancelled during the primary period. Most of the financial leases are direct leases and lease period is determined on the basis of life of the asset. Insurance and maintenance of asset are responsibility of lessee. Example is plant and machinery, ships, aircrafts, etc. In case of financial lease, the value of lease payment exceeds the value of leased asset because it is a long-run lease contract. The lessor assumes the role of financier at the end. Lessee may get the asset or right to purchase the leased asset on an agreed price. Then you may get a doubt, then why he is taking when it exceeds value of asset means he need not pay, that is the user, the lessee need not pay total amount at a time. That burden, to reduce that burden, they opt for this kind of lease. Next one, sale and leaseback lease. Sale and leaseback, as a name indicates, is a lease contract where a firm sells an asset to another and get it back from the buyer on a lease contract to use that asset. The notable advantage of this lease is that the companies will get tax advantages in the sale and leaseback contract. It provides a facility of raising funds which can be invested in other investment avenues and the firm can continue to use the asset. Usually, leasing companies purchase assets at a revalued price and lease these assets back to the seller companies. Then imported lease. Capital goods can be imported under the lease contract by the foreign currency loans or owner's equity. The user assumes legal ownership. Import license may be in the name of importer, but goods shall be rendered in favor of lessor. Lessor opens letter of credit through a bank and he deemed to be the actual importer of goods. About letter of credit and deemed importer, I will make another video for you to make it very clear. Cross-border lease. Cross-border lease is lease between two parties in two different countries. It is international lease. After liberalization, this became prominent especially in areas of airways and shipping. Leverage and non-leverage lease. It involves lessor and lessee and a financier. In case of an asset that requires huge initial investment, Lessor takes the help of financiers. The leasing company and the financier jointly invest on the asset. They equally or proportionately receive the rent. The rent paid to the financier is a part of debt serving. Example, leasing of aircraft, ships, etc. Thus, this is a popular method of financing very costly or expensive assets which require huge investments. Then, net and non-net lease. If the lessor does not assume the responsibility of maintenance, insurance and other expenses, it is called net lease. In case of non-net lease, he assumes all the responsibilities. That's all in this video.